So I'll be working on my '08 KLR650 or second gen KLR. The right fork, low light, there you go. Maybe you can see that. Seal's been leaking for a couple of years. So what you do, starting off, loosen up the triple clamp, loosen up your cap here before you start loosening up forks underneath here. I've never done this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. These are 22 millimeter, 12 mil. Down here, these are 10 mil also. And mine has a pickup for the speedometer here. So I don't have the cable connected anymore. My gear got chewed up, and instead of replacing the hub or a wheel, I went digital. Millimeter bolt for this bracket here for your lines coming down. Take that off. Oh, that's an 8 mil. I don't have my 8 mil. Gotta go get that. 12 mil for a caliper. Well, my camera died. Well, no, it overheated being in the sun. So I used a C-clamp to clamp into the caliper, squeeze it together so I could get it off the rotor. I did have to use a screwdriver here to spread it apart to get them to come out. There's the wheel. I just put the axle back in, keep it all back together, and put the nut on there. They were kind of crusty. I just used a wire brush, cleaned it all up, wiped it out, got her all wrapped, cleaned up. It's just a little bit of surface crust. Looks a little crusty in there. There we go. Oh, it's stuck in there a little bit. Yeah, a little crusty. It's gonna leak. All right. Take the cap off. Sleeve. Oh, it doesn't look all that gross. Washer that was on top of the spring. So undo the bolt on the back side. That releases the I'm not even sure what it's called. I'd have to go look. There you go. Releases this piece. Threads into there. That makes it so you got our pop that apart. So now you have your mess. So there's your seal. Make sure you pay attention. Your order. Okay, got all the parts all cleaned up. So if you're going to reuse your springs, those are your specs. Mine are bad. I'm going to keep them for now. I don't have new springs to put them back together. Later on, I can always just pull off this cap when it's still together, pull out the spacer tube, and then fish out the spring and put new springs in. Not a problem. And what you would normally do, you'd collapse all your once it's all together, collapse your tube and your inner tube and your outer tube, and measure 135 millimeters. 135 millimeters from the top without your spring. I'm just gonna put 585 milliliters in there. Call it good. I'm gonna be lazy. That's good enough for me, I think. So this goes on the end here. This goes down here. See? Right there. So hopefully I'll be able to get the bolt in there. Normally I use a rod. To hold it all together. And then the book also says to use non-permanent thread locker. So put some of that on. See if I can get it to go in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud. Cooking with Crisco now. Uh-oh. She's spinning inside. There. Separate it now. There we go. Now we can snug it up. There. And then the torque is 22 foot-pounds. It might be spinning inside there. Oh, maybe not. There we go. So now you have your bushing and a washer. Looks like it's supposed to be pressed in. So what I did is I took some electrical tape, wrapped it up. I put the bushing in and the washer, and I just went to town with it and drove it home. So yeah, there's your washer. Ooh, yeah. See, you can see the bushing down inside. And then you got your washer. I went with all balls fork seals. This is the number. Hopefully. Oil seal. See, it's It's all the same size on this. And this is your dirt seal, dust seal, and that's got this lip, and it'll sit on top of the outer tube right here. So to protect your seal before you put it on, you don't want to get it messed up with the lip here. Tape. Oops. You can use also some saran wrap or a baggie. So then you get some fork oil on there. Get some fork oil on your seal so you don't tear it. And then just, oh, that's a good one. Get all dirt in there. Now you wipe your seal off. And reapply some oil. Yeah, so you just put it over the plastic, slide her on. All right. Clean her up a little bit. And then you can put your tape across it again. So once you get yourself a little built up, then you can drive it on home. And then you can see that you've gone far enough because you got your retaining clip ring in there. It's far enough down so you can get your retaining clip ring in. All right, now I'll put a little bit of oil on the dust seal. There's that. And then, ooh, I don't have to take the big one. Got myself a little one. Again, just there you go. Yeah, so I know you lose some because of residue, and that's why you're supposed to measure while it's collapsed from the top of the tube down to where your fluid is, 135 millimeters, without the spring being in there. After you've cycled it a few times, get the air worked out. But like I said, I'm just going to go by the measured. I think I'm good. Drop the spring, washer, tube, cap. Cap goes to 22 foot-pounds. You might not be able to tighten it all the way until you get it clamped in the forks, but you can get it snugged so the O-ring seals it so it's not going to leak everywhere. All right, just make sure you put your left on your left and the right on your right. They even have a cast on them. I was afraid about this. Might need to separate them to get them apart and put them back together. Right where the line was. Nope, that's way too high. Somebody had lowered them back down, or lowered the forks to raise up. So this one I can't really tell. So just make sure your forks are at the same height. You can look here, you can measure them. Just make the upper and lower clamp bolts are 15 foot-pounds. Here's a tip. Put your fork boots or socks back on before you put it together so you don't have to do it twice. Caliper bolts, they are 25 foot-pounds. dropped in there. When you're tightening it up, make sure that your speedo gear hub doesn't rotate on you. It will. Mine always does. Notch right here for the speedo. You want to keep it inside there when you tighten it down. That nut, 65 foot-pounds, and then the clamp bolts, 15 foot-pounds.